everyone. Isaac Johnson from Geek Out Technologies here. I specialize in church, nonprofit, and social enterprise IT solutions. One thing I want to speak to today is the use of church management software with the PDPA, which is the Personal Data Protection Act here in Singapore. Now, the PDPA, it tends to be pretty all-encompassing. All data is basically PDPA. Your given name, your surname, phone number, address, everything is considered PDPA. And where this tends to run into issues with church management software is particularly in children's ministry check-in kiosks. Children's ministry check-in is a great thing to have. I spent several years as a children's pastor myself. They're a fantastic thing. They're great for protecting kids, but a lot of times they violate the PDPA. And let me give a demonstration why. Okay, so here we've got a demo of a popular church management system up. This is Rock RMS. It's actually an open source and free one if you're looking for a church management system. A lot of churches host theirs within their Microsoft donations, so it is available. Now, as you see here within Rock, we've got a few different test users that are within the database. We've got the Decker family, the Marble family, the Jones family, the Michaels family. And we're going to jump in and we're going to start up the children's ministry check-in. So we've got a children's ministry check-in, and we'll tell it okay. So let's start. And a lot of people are familiar with these. So now you've got a search index that people can walk up and type in their name or their phone number, and it should bring something up. Now the danger here is if you're doing a self check-in and you type in Jones, okay, now we see a few different Jones. And so we've actually already broken PDPA, because if you're one of the Joneses but not one of the other Jones family, like if you're in the Will Jones family but you're not in the Ben Jones family, you've already broken and violated PDPA. It gets worse if there are actual phone numbers. But even if I'm not a Jones, let's say I'm Jenny Michaels, and I walk up to it and I just decide I want to find out about the Deckers. I can type in the Deckers. I see the Deckers. I can look at it. I can see who's in the Decker family. I can jump right on in. I can see their ages, which is also PDPA. I can snag the phone number. I can snag Ted's email address. All of these are PDPA violations. So when you go to choose your church management system, before you go and implement a check-in system, you need to make sure that a user can't walk up and get this information. If they do, it's a violation of PDPA. You never know how much if anybody complains, it's going to go straight to the PDPC. They're going to launch an investigation. And if they find something like this, that you willingly and knowingly did this, it could easily be a $10,000 fine just for that. And then you're going to be dragged through the mud in the newspapers, things like that. So you want to make sure going in that you have a system for checking in kids that does not release data to anybody walking up to the kiosk. And there's a couple ways to handle this. The first and primary way that you can get around it is if you have, ministry volunteers who are going to do assisted check-ins. So you don't actually show people that come in to check in their kids the actual screen, and you hide that information. The other way would be if you have any kind of phone registration or something that they have to type in the exact data. You could potentially get around that. But if they know somebody else's phone number and they manage to use somebody else's phone number to pick up their email address or something, that's a PDPA violation. So there are some church management systems and some children's ministry login systems that do have FastPass systems that'll work with a hand phone. If you have a system that'll work directly with a hand phone and not hand out anybody else's information, that's potentially another way to go. But the main takeaway is make sure that with any kind of software that you use within your church, you're not going to end up violating the PDPA. A lot of the software is designed for use in the US, where the US does not have these specific regulations. And so you need to be really cautious to make sure that your software is not going to violate any usage restrictions for Singapore. All right, again, I'm Isaac Johnson for Geek Out Technologies, and look forward to seeing you guys again in another video.